everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of Reputation Rescue at Lazio with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. Things haven't been going particularly brilliantly. We're currently sitting in fairly early March, April, for goodness sake. Read your lines, Kev. April. And the last couple of games haven't gone particularly great. We've only played a couple since you and I were together last for Udinese, just because that's how the fixture list set us, really, because I wanted to come back for the local derby against Roma. Lazio-Roma is the big local derby. So I wanted to come back for that. So there was only a couple of games in the middle of the two episodes. We got a very disappointing 0-0 draw against Genoa, and we never got going at all. We really struggled to make an impact on the game, and then we lost at home to Wolves in our first leg of our quarter-final of the Euro Cup. So yeah, we've got a bit of a gap to fill there when we come up against them away from home at Molineux in a little time from now. So things haven't been going brilliantly. That since the turn of the January, you can see it's been patchy. Run of games of losses there, big load of draws in the middle of March we've had as well. But if we go back on ourselves a little bit, you see that early form was so much more consistent, and it's just dropped off slightly, which all means that in terms of where we are in the league, you can see that we currently sit in 6th at the moment. We have a game in hand over quite a lot of the teams above us. It's the game against Roma is the last one of this particular weekend. So that's the two of us playing our 31st game. If we lose today against Roma, that really does start to open up a bit of a gap up to where we were sitting a little while ago in second place. Now, I never ever expected to beat Zebra in the first season, Zebra being Juventus in this save. We're going for hunting for zebras is our catchline for this particular series. And I never expected to get anywhere near them in the first season, and that's pretty much the way it's been. I mean, we're almost 20 points behind them. But I expected that we would finish somewhere in the top 4, hopefully, and just at the moment we're looking a little bit doubtful for that unless we can pick up the points today. So it's an important game in terms of league position and in terms of momentum for that little section of the season still to come, a few more games left, but it's also really important because it's the local derby against Roma and we really need to get one over on them. If we go back to our schedule page and look for the game against Roma earlier in the season, you can see that we got a 1-0 win at home, so we're capable of beating them, absolutely we are, but this is away from home, slightly harder, and a bit of a poor run of form means confidence will be slightly diminished. So it's going to be a tough old day, I think, but we'll give it as good a go as we possibly can. In terms of the personnel for today, we've had a couple of injury issues, and it's been quite consistent. There's always somebody out with a knock recently, and you can see that today Milinkovic-Savic needs a bit of a rest. Now we either rest him for this particular match or we rest him in the next game, which is the second leg of our Euro Cup. So I think because of wanting to focus purely on the league for this particular series, the whole point of this series is to put us back on top of Italian football. I'm going to focus on the league a little bit, so I'm going to play him today and then I will have to rest him because he is struggling and has been for a little while just with his fitness. He's played too many games basically because he's too important for us. He's played 37 already and hasn't been that brilliant as much as you'd expect him to be, but he's still vital for the way that we play. So that's why he's been in there so much. And you remember we got rid of his direct replacement, Parolo, I think his name was, in the January window just because he was like 35 years old and coming to the end of the contract. And we didn't really feel the need to replace Parolo too much because we had a couple of other people in the squad that could do a job. So that's the situation with Milinkovic-Savic. So he will play today, but probably won't play next game. And we'll just have to see what happens against Wolves in the Euro Cup. Other than that, the only player coming back from an injury issue is Lazzari. I am going to switch him back into the squad. So we're going to put him back in that right-sided wing-back substitution role for today. And I'm going to switch in Lukaku for Johnny and then switch Lulic back into the squad. A bit of a long-winded way of saying I'm going to revert back to a couple of players that we normally put in there other than Lazzari's on the bench just because of the knock that he's just come back from. So Courier also is one that's just coming back. You can see his match sharpness isn't great. Anderson's been doing okay in his replacement, so we'll keep Anderson in there for today and just give Courier a chance to come off on the bench maybe. So all of that long-winded explanation of not a lot, apologies for that, just means that for today's game against Roma in Serie A, big local derby, big top of the table clash, we have Strakosha in goal, Felipe, Vavro and Acerbi in central defence, Leva, Milinkovic-Savic and Alberto in central midfield, Maricic on the right, Lulic on the left, Anderson supporting Immobile up top, and pretty much everybody else on the bench. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So as it's the local derby, it would be silly of us not to just use the let's do this one for the fans kind of team talk, wouldn't it really? That's what we're here for in this particular day, is to get one over on the direct rival to us in our own city. So yeah, good opportunity, but they are going to be tough. Their standing in terms of current form puts them top of the division in terms of recent matches, and we're at about 13th or something. I think our dip in form has come at the wrong point to be playing our direct rivals in Roma, but let's see whether we can bring out a good performance today. We lose the ball down on our right hand side. Maricic loses out, and then there's a foul, I think, on the edge of the box just outside, but we'll have to wait and see what the referee has to say, having looked at the VAR. It could be a problem for us to go down so early to a penalty kick in the first minute of the game, if that's his decision. So out he comes, makes the VAR symbol. What's he given? He's given a free kick just on the edge of the box, and I kind of thought it would be. And what's the decision going to be against Andre Anderson here in terms of any disciplinary measures? He just gives him a word. That's good. So early in the game, that's really positive not to have a big problem with cards. And the particular highlight comes to nothing there, which is good. Strakosha does very well to claim the ball. So we escape a very early threat, and I'm not really happy with how we're settling into this game. Particularly, you can see no shots on goal, no shots on target. Therefore, we haven't had as much of the possession as I'd like either. And now we've gone 1-0 down. Oh, Dzeko at the near post, something that we've seen Paoletta do for us on a number of occasions through the season, those near post headers, and eventually they get the left-footed cross in, whips it round that wide defender. So, and Dzeko cuts across the front of the front post and puts the ball away for a 1-0 lead after 20-odd minutes of the game. Good chance for us to come back immediately, and we do. A brilliant free kick to the far post, and a little bit of confusion from the goalkeeper coming out and flapping at it a little bit. Misses the opportunity to get the ball, and it's Immobile, and he gets his head on the ball very comfortably and heads it into a completely open net, having watched the goalkeeper just completely misplace his attempt to punch the ball away. And we get a decent response fairly quickly, and we go 1-1 after half an hour of the game. And can we just begin to build ourselves into this particular match now? Can we find a way to get a bit more of the possession and take it away from Roma and build our own opportunities? So far the answer is no, though, really. 35% possession, can't get my words out. One shot on goal, one shot on target. Not good enough, that one goal for us. Other than that, Roma have had 10 and 6. It's not been good enough so far, so we're going to have to put a bit of a rocket up them at half time. Assertively, I'm far from pleased. Who seems demotivated? Acerbi. Well, okay, that's fair enough, but the rest of them seem fired up, so that's a positive response from most of them. Let's hope that it provides us with a better experience in this second half. But it's an early shot from Roma off the free kick, just on the edge of the area in the first minute of the second half. Again, we are under pressure directly from what Roma are doing again. And they've got another early goal, and that's it. I've had enough. We're going to have to change something. So we're going tactically. We're going to go into our vertical tiki-taka. Be a bit more aggressive in terms of our play, try and push them a little bit and press them higher up the pitch, go more attacking. So we'll change that and immediately go back to the play. And as soon as this highlight has come and gone, we'll go into the shouts and ask them to get creative, I suspect, just because it's a good one to get a response from. And there's the response, inspired by the words, let's see whether we can do something about it and find a way into this match. Still sitting on that one shot and that one goal. It's not looking great. Here's the second opportunity for us, though, and it's really easily cleared, but we do pick up the loose ball from Vavro, and oh no, they've given the ball away in such a difficult position, and into the box and off the woodwork. Really, really fortunate that we didn't go 3-1 down there. So we're going to pause the game just as they're coming for a corner, and we'll see who's the culprit today of not performing well. And there's a lot of them, isn't there? Felipe, Vavro, both on a 6.5. Leva on a 6. Lulic on a 6.3. Anderson 6.5. There's so much to do there. So Leva comes out. Gelson goes in. Lulic comes out. Lukaku goes in. And Anderson comes out. And we put Correa back in. And let's see if those can make any sense of difference to what we do moving forward. But it's first off, it's a really good opportunity off a corner kick for Roma. But again, Strakosha is up to the challenge. Can we now work something with a few new players on the pitch that are not tainted by such a poor performance so far, and see if we can get something from the game? And it's Sergej Milinkovic-Savic onto Marasic down the right-hand side into the box, and he looked for a foul, but it wasn't given, and it shouldn't have been given. It was a good, clean tackle. And it's Roma coming away with the ball down their left-hand side. Good opportunity for Milinkovic-Savic to get in there, though, and win the ball high up the pitch. Can we do something with it? Immobile, out from his feet, going to get a shot away. A cross comes in, and it's blocked by a good defensive challenge. Dives in and blocks the ball, and Roma find themselves with the loose ball again, and it's Dzeko down the left hand side, gets all the way to the box, but then is cleared comfortably by us. 70 minutes gone. All of these yellow cards mounting up for us is not a good thing either, is it? We are completely under the cosh really today. It feels like another good chance headed slightly over the top by Roma off a corner kick. We are not coping well with Roma today at all. And we've got one last thing we can potentially think of doing, but what do we actually do? That's the challenge. We're going to go tactically, and we're going to put Correa up top with Immobile, and we are going to get rid of the vertical tiki-taka, and we're going to go route one and see whether we can get anything from a knockdown in the final seconds of this match. Few minutes left. We've got no chance so far, and it goes to Roma, the next opportunity. Down their left-hand side, again, they're in the box. Are they going to get a cross in? We can't block it. We do block the shot off the edge of the area, but again, Roma find the loose ball, and again, they come back at us down the right-hand side. Good blocking again, but we're not being at all lucky with getting those loose balls, those 50-50 balls, those second balls. Roma are finding all of them so far in this particular match, and it's really showing itself in terms of how this result is going. And we're at 91 minutes, and again Roma are piling on the pressure, and we can't find a way to relieve it. We started in a controlled possession, we went to a vertical tiki-taka, we put two up top and gone route one, and whatever we've tried today just hasn't worked. And this is how the standings have been in Serie A recently. Roma at the top of the form guide, and us nowhere near it. And it's been a real bad second half of the season, really, when you look at how successful it was in the first half. Disappointing result. So assertively, I'm far from pleased, and I don't care if you're demotivated by that. I can't be pleased when you go to the direct local rivals and you don't perform well. And not many of them performed well today. And we find ourselves sitting outside of those European spots with only a few games left. And we currently sit in 6th. So let's go and have a look at the schedule and see what we've got left. See those 7 games left. And there's a couple of tough ones in there. Milan are in there. Atalanta to finish. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back next episode and we're going to play the Parma game and see if we can get a decent result there, and a couple in between would be great, especially against Wolves in the Euro Cup. See if we can go through that against the odds. We'll come back against Parma in the next episode, and then finally play Atalanta in the last game of the season in the following episode to that. But that's going to do it for today. Real struggle today, wasn't it? Roma really put us to the sword in a lot of ways. And we couldn't quite find a way to really compete with them, which was very disappointing. But anyway, that's football. That's Football Manager at times. We have to roll with the punches at times. Leaves us in 6th place. Let's see how we can end the season. Can we do it positively, lead into a good summer and a good opportunity to replenish this squad a little bit and reinvigorate it. So thanks for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and come and join my United City community. Click that like button for me also if you can. That helps to get seen by lots of other people. But until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.